Hi folks, how's it going? It's James here. Welcome to another video. This is going to be a contest entry for Rob Walker, who's been on the VC for a few months now. I think it's his 100 subs contests. A very fast growing channel. Rob's a great guy, great taste in music, always showing good things. Just wants us to show 5 records that we've never shown before on the vinyl community, which I thought was quite a nice idea. Gives you a chance to show some stuff, you know, do some deep shelf pulls. So I thought I would join in. So in the background you can hear this music coming from King Sunny Ade. He is a Nigerian singer specialising in a form of music, I believe it's called Juju, which is Nigerian for jump or jumping. And this album was bought years and years ago from Oxfam, £3.99. And it's just a great thing to have in the collection. Don't have a great deal of African music on vinyl, so that's quite nice. It's kind of sparkly sounding, lots of percussion, lots of lovely interweaving, interlacing electric guitar, and a particular instrument. I can't quite place it. It's like a sort of electronic drum that goes boo, and it happens regularly throughout the record, and it always brings a smile to my face. And yeah, I thought I would show that. Nice opportunity to show something a bit different. So there we go, King Sunny Ade. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be mistaken. Bit of reggae next. This is Susan Cadogan, Jamaican singer, and this album, I bought this back in my Leeds days. In fact, I bought it from Jumbo Records when it was still in the St John's Centre in Leeds. It's moved now. For those of you who are not from the UK or who don't know Leeds, that won't mean anything at all, but Jumbo Records is still in Leeds, but it's a smaller shop now. It used to be a very big shop, big kind of sprawling shop upstairs in a shopping precinct, and I bought that back in the day. It's on Trojan, and there we go. The reason I bought it is that there was a track actually from this album on this CD which I had back in the 90s. It was a great series. It was called Back to Mine, and it was different bands or artists putting together a compilation CD, and they had on this track 15, Susan Cadogan, Don't Burn Your Bridges, which is an absolutely wonderful song, and it's on this record. Don't Burn Your Bridges. It's there on side 2.
Don't you burn your bridges behind you. You might want to turn and go back again.
So I trotted off down to Jumbo in the hope of finding a record by Susan, and I was in luck, and this was the one. Great record. It has a very, very, what you call a classic kind of mid-1970s reggae sound. It's murky, it's a bit swampy, it's got that great kind of bass, you know, the bass stuff going on, just everything that you associate with classic Trojan reggae records. This album has got in spades. She had a great voice, very sultry. This record contains her version of Fever, which is very nice. She was a librarian originally, and she had a kind of briefish career in the 70s. Her career then levelled off a bit, and she went back to being a librarian, and then her career resurfaced again in the 80s. Not quite sure where she is now, but that's certainly a bit of a reggae classic, I would say. Susan Cadogan. Okay, the next record again goes back to my misspent youth, bought from, I think again, Oxfam in Headingley. This is Peter Baumann and Romance 76. He was a founding member and a cornerstone member of Tangerine Dream. I first heard about this album, it was an interview with Björk. I think it was in Q magazine, and she talked about it in quite an interesting way. It caught my eye, and I just happened to see it, you know, at some point after that in a charity shop, so I grabbed it, and it's very Tangerine Dream-esque, kind of astral sounding, you know, wandering synthesizers. It's got that kind of chilly, Germanic synth feel to it. I don't think it's a particularly rare record, this. I've seen other people showing it on the vinyl community. It's on the Double Virgin label. Yeah, and a kind of intriguing cover, bit of a David Bowie-esque cover, I think. Peter Baumann, Romance 76. Not quite sure how many other solo albums he had. I mean, I never see any in the wild, you know. Okay, next we have a bit of experimental classical music. This is Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, Mantra, which this record is the last surviving record from my dad's record collection. My dad is a big music lover, but he changed to CD many years ago. He had this record in his collection back in the probably late 1970s, and I grabbed it when he got rid of his records a few years ago now. Maybe I grabbed it then, or maybe I'd stolen it a few years before, I don't know. The cover always intrigued me. It's a very, very experimental record. It's for two treated pianos. Let's have a look. It's all based on repetition and mantra, but the pianos are being treated in some way electronically. They've got pickups inside them, and the two pianists are playing them in a strange esoteric sequence of some kind. Not the easiest of music to listen to. Stockhausen was a big influence on Marquis Smith from The Fall, which I always thought was quite good fun. I presume it was because of his experimental leanings. And you know, it's not my favourite music in all the world, but it's an interesting record to have in the collection, and I go back to it from time to time and kind of, you know, sit there earnestly with headphones on, completely failing to tap my toe to it. But yeah, it's a nice thing to have, and I was pleased to have the opportunity of showing it. So that's Stockhausen and Mantra. And we'll finish with a recent pickup. I grabbed this after hearing John Heaton talking about it. He described it as an incredible album, so I thought I would pick it up, by an artist who I've never really been into her music, but it is this, Yoko Ono and Seasons of Glass. This was the record she made shortly after John was killed. When he died, I think it was at the end of 1980. This album came out in May 1981, and it's a very emotionally raw record. Yoko had a reputation for making quite kind of wild, avant-garde, screechy kind of recordings. This is actually very low key, but it's very, very raw. It's very fragile sounding. The lyrics are quite oblique. They're clearly her trying to come to terms with John's death and this awful thing that's happened, but they're not very literal, you know, they're kind of couched in imagery, and it's quite indirect. There's a mood there, there's a mood of creeping sadness, but also flashes of redemption in there, which makes it a very compelling listen. I can, you know, really see why John said it was a great album. I've only given it a couple of listens so far, so I need to spend some more time with it, but it's certainly made me more intrigued about Yoko Ono. I mean, I've never had anything against her at all, you know. She comes in for a bad press, you know, because of what she allegedly, you know, her alleged interference in the Beatles at the end of their career, and, you know, how it might have put an end to their career. I've never particularly bought into that, but by the same token, I've never really gone out of my way to check out her solo work. So this was a nice thing to pick up and to listen to and to open my ears to. So you never know, I may be looking for some more of Yoko's stuff as time goes on. So there we go, that's Yoko Ono, Season of Glass. Okay, that's me done. Check out Rob's channel if you haven't already, and thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.